What's going on, everybody? It's Sunday, May 12th, 2024. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I'm Tanner Lee, co-host Austin Shepard, the Shep, in the house. He's wishing Mama Wayne a happy Mother's Day.
She's a special mama.
I love it. That is perfect. That is perfect. I'm glad I didn't see that caption before we started. That was fantastic.
I came in a little late, so I didn't give you any warning. So
I like it.
Yeah.
Two-man crew tonight, because not only is it Mother's Day, it is also Logan Zartman, the son of our co-host Paul Zartman. It's his 12th birthday. Logan's a huge fan of KOP. Happy birthday, Logan. And like always, respect your EVPs, because I know you don't, but you need to. So Paul's off the hook tonight. He's celebrating with Logan, so it's all good. All good. So, Shep, I guess I got to lead off with the question since Paul's not here to do so.
He's not here.
What are we drinking tonight?
Well, I'm going to have a very, very special. No, it's normal. Vodka and soda tonight. I almost made some, is it Usi juice?
Usi juice.
But I had everything in the house but cranberry, I think it was. And being Mother's Day today, we had a big shindig here, and I just couldn't make it to the store to get some cranberry juice. So I don't know if anybody saw on some social media throughout the weekend, some of the WWE live events have Usi juice, which is vodka, some rum, lemonade, cranberry, and pineapple juice, maybe?
Oh, look up. It is single prop rum, white rum, vodka, lemonade, cranberry juice, and fruit punch.
Fruit punch. So I thought about making one of those, and as soon as I thought about making it, I got a stomach ache. Because I just feel like that's a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
And if you looked at me, I'm in prime health, so I can't have that much sugar.
Yeah, probably smart. But
yeah,
one of these
days we're gonna have some Usi juice. I just didn't have the right ingredients today.
I'll tag in for that one. That sounds pretty good to me, even though it is very sugary. Steven Chambers in the house on YouTube. What's up, guys? Hey, Steven, thanks for tuning in. Buddy Pluggo of the Between Two Beards show on YouTube. Hello, boys. I was co-hosting the night with Pluggo on that.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How did he get that nickname Pluggo?
That's a great question. Pluggo, chime in there. But you know, Sue, Trent's mom, calls him Plugo instead of Pluggo. So
okay. Maybe that has something a little to do with that. I don't know.
Steven Chambers, which tastes better, Ric Flair energy drink or Prime? Never tried them both. I like Prime better.
I've never had Prime because everything says it has cyanide in it. But after drinking the Ric Flair energy drink, I'm pretty sure there's some cyanide in that shit too. So
I've had the Prime hydration drink, not the energy drink. I'm not a big energy drink guy.
So I'll be quite honest with you. I'm not a Jake Paul, Logan Paul fan.
Yep. So
when I found out he was, the owner of Prime, I tend to stay away from it. And I look at like you see this guy behind me here, this number 2 Chevrolet accessory thing. That was a Kyle Larson, a sprint car wing. Kyle Larson is a Prime athlete now.
So is Cody Rhodes.
I still ain't drinking this stuff though, man.
And he and Logan are going against each other. That's King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring.
That is true. So, I mean, I see that, and I've seen it in some convenience stores in our area, and I just can't get myself to buy it. I really can't.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Majin's breaking out the Crown Blackberry.
So funny. I got a funny story, Majin. So we're in a small town. Crown Blackberry is like, the new hottest thing. So the two liquor stores in town here, they got a couple bottles, and it's a $29.95 bottle, right? $29.95 United States currency. This dumbass that owns the liquor store by where I work, he put $119 a bottle. And I looked at, like, I went in one night, I got my normal Kettle One vodka, even though they don't sponsor us, can't tag them, bunch of fucktards. I shouldn't say that, sorry. That's mean.
There we are. First
Yeah,
explicit of the
well,
night.
I was
Took longer than I thought it would.
anyways. I walked up to there and they had this bottle of Blackberry Crown. I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll try it. You're supposed to put Blackberry Crown lemonade. That's like the new hot drink. He put $119 sticker on it. I said, you are the biggest idiot in the world. He spoke at me in
A different language.
Yes, that's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
And I paid my money and I walked out and called him a dipshit ever since.
Well, Steffi agrees. She said he's a dumbass. So there you go. Majin says, of course, I like Prime because I'm a WWE guy. I don't know about that.
How much cyanide you putting in your body there, Majin? Just saying.
Pluggo, hopefully for Logan's birthday, he got some respect for our EVPs. Yes, I'm hoping so too.
That's okay.
Steven Chambers, I hope Mike Tyson knocks out Jake Paul next month. Me too. I don't think he will, though.
I don't think it will.
A scripted exhibition.
It's going to be a more professional wrestling than professional boxing. How about that?
And Steffi looks like she has no AC. Ooh.
Steffi, aren't you in Canada though?
No, she's in North Carolina. Remember?
North Carolina? Oh
yeah.
Oh shit, that sucks. Yeah. I was like, I turned my little AC unit in this little building I have here. I got a little wall unit. Man, I fired it up today, and it's about 68 degrees in here, and it's perfect.
That's perfect.
I don't even have the fan going normally because you see the fan blades going. I don't even have it going tonight.
Don't need it tonight.
No,
it's been a nice weekend in Indiana, I would say, weather-wise. So, yep. But we have a lot to discuss when it comes to All Elite Wrestling this week. Of course, Dynamite on Wednesday. Then we had the back-to-back Collision and Rampage last night. Are they doing that next week? I don't think I saw where Rampage is following Dynamite or Collision next week, but I could be wrong.
I think it all depends on the NBA schedule, doesn't it?
Does it? Okay. NBA, NHL are both there, so.
I mean, you got one series that could literally not make next weekend. It's probably up in the air. I have a feeling.
Yeah. So. Well, I guess before we get into AEW, I forgot. I need a suggestion of what wrestling event to put on behind me here. I got the Peacock fired up.
You want it from me?
You, the chat. I don't care.
I mean, I always tend to go this side because I enjoyed it. But how about ECW One Night Stand? The original One Night Stand.
The first one? I like that.
The original one.
Yep.
I had some other ECW ones in mind, but we're going to save those for later dates. Probably when Paul's here so I can get Paul fired
up. I like it. All right. This might take me a little while to find here, but.
Wait, don't you have one of those talk to remote?
I probably do, but I'm too stupid to know how to use it. Let's see.
That's not very nice. You shouldn't call yourself that.
That's all right. See, this will be an interesting thing if they put it under ECW or under WWE, though.
The original, I think, should be under ECW, right?
I would think so.
The second one sucked.
Here, I'm just going to go to the search bar. That'll probably make it a lot quicker.
Half our listeners.
There we go.
I say half our listeners already clicked off dinner. Thanks.
Oh, probably. Yeah. All right. There we go. That should do it. Okay. Majin, how about those Avs down to the Stars? Yeah, not a good game 3 at home by the Avs last night. That 4-1 was a whooping. So, got to get game 4, or
Wait a
they're
minute.
in
He's a
trouble.
Dallas Stars fan?
No, remember he's a Jets fan. He's still
I,
pissed that the Avs knocked him out. So,
that's what I thought. I kind of got a little aggressive last week, didn't I?
yes, you did, and it was fun. It made for a very good short. Steven Chambers said, "Waiting for Canucks versus Oilers game later on. Going to be a great series."
Was he another Canadian?
I'm not sure, Steven. I
Where are you
don't think
from?
so, but I
Where are
don't
you
think
from,
so.
Steven?
I don't think he is. I don't
If
think he's
you're
Canadian.
if you're rooting for the Canucks or Oilers, if you're excited about this, you got to be Canadian, don't you?
He's a hockey fan. You can be an American hockey fan.
What? Live in Arizona? I live in Arizona, and no.
He's from Mississippi.
That's about the same damn thing. I mean, congrats. I love that you find a sport you love and can root for. So it's a fucking 98 degrees. You're sweating your balls off in Mississippi. Let's root for some guys on some ice. Let's go.
Yeah, I like it.
Cheers.
Okay, now I got to ask the question: are you a Rebels fan or a Bulldogs fan? Ole Miss or Mississippi State? I'm curious. Oh, he says big Red Wings fan. He used to live in Michigan. Okay, used to be a Midwestern like us. So I was in Michigan yesterday.
Good thing you moved to Mississippi. Michigan sucks. But anyways.
Okay, now that we have
All right.
ECW One Night Stand, the original fired up behind me, the Hammerstein Ballroom, we got Joey Styles
Classic.
on the mic. And Steven's an Ole Miss fan, Rebels fan. I figured that was probably the answer.
You look a lot like Peyton. You look a lot like Eli Manning, you don't you?
You about said Peyton.
I did.
Steffi said she was at ECW One Night Stand. That would have been a pretty fun event to go to.
Whoa, that would have been cool. The original one, that'd been badass.
Yeah.
Speaking of Eli Manning, did anybody watch or have you watched the roast of Tom Brady?
Yeah, my wife and I watched it Tuesday last week, I think it was. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Holy cow.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I actually wanted to ask this question. I completely forgot I wanted to ask it to her right now. So which professional wrestler would be great to get roasted?
John Cena.
Ooh, yeah, that would be an interesting one.
Just because of the wrestling and Hollywood phase mixed together.
That'd be an interesting one. I like that.
Or, I mean, we saw the roast of Ric Flair. And that was, if you had the explicit logo up full time, that was there. And then it was really good. And then at the end, Ric Flair stood up and he how do you do that? He basically said, hey, all these comedians just made all these jokes about me and these women. And like we should feel sorry for him. Like, was not cool. Like he kind of downplayed it. So I thought that kind of ruined it, the roast of Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
But that was very, very hilarious. But like modern day, I think it has to be John Cena, right? With his Hollywood background. Rock wouldn't work because he's the boss.
The final boss.
He's the final boss. So you look at it's got to be a baby face. So I'm going John Cena.
If we're going heels, I'd love to see Bischoff get roasted.
Fuck that dude.
Exactly.
Sorry,
I love him. I love him to get roasted.
He is a bitter piece of shit.
He is bitter, and I saw today that the ad-free shows, the network Conrad Thompson runs, that houses all his podcasts. They're going to address tomorrow on 83 Weeks the future of the podcast. So no idea what that means, but
hope Conrad says you're a douchebag and we ain't making any money. I'm out. Stephen
Chambers said Hulk Hogan. That would get interesting pretty fast.
Here's the difference with Hulk Hogan with what he's done in the last 60 days. And I'm not knocking this at all. Okay. He come out and very religious all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Found God and which, hey, if that's his gig, bless his heart, good for him. but you can't have a roast with what his past was and his current
Gimmick.
lifestyle is. And I don't want to get into that religion
Yeah.
debate.
Yeah.
That's for another day, another dollar. It wouldn't mix. Like you could get some really, really good jokes out of it, but you're gonna have half the people laugh, half the people probably boo you. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Hogan's got way too many stuff in the closet.
He's got a lot of skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, I mean that would not. I mean, I would laugh, but I'm a sick individual. So
Modern said Batista.
yeah, Batista's too big of a fucking Democrat.
Well, we know what side Shep's on there.
Yeah.
If you didn't already. Steffi said, I hope they cancel 83 weeks. I'm kind of right there with it. I used to really enjoy that pod, but Bischoff just all he does is rant about AEW anymore. So.
I'll stamp on that one. She's correct.
She said Iron Sheik. I think she meant get Sheik to put on the Hogan roast.
Yeah. Yeah. Sheik would be fun.
Cornette and Russo together. Just kidding, Chambers said. Oh, they'd kill each other. That'd be great.
Oh, could you imagine though? Put a bunch of professional wrestlers, professional managers in between Shit Stain and Jim Cornette, and then let's just let them go there. Oh my god, that'd be great.
That would be great.
That would be good. That would, you know what? You could $49.95 pay-per-view that one.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. So, all right, we've been going for about 17 and a half minutes. Let's dive into AEW. But I guess you got one question here to answer. Steffi said, which one is Shit Stain?
It's Vince. As much as I disagree with a lot of the shit,
and all you could say is it's Vince, because that could go for multiple people named Vince.
It's Russo. Let's put it that way. As much as I bitch about Cornette, I still love his passion and his historianism. I guess I just made him my own. I still love his passion of the business. He's a little old school, which doesn't fit with some of the stuff that we all like. But I think you got to respect him. I don't agree with everything he says, but I still respect his outlook on the business, what he's done for the business. And I'd love to sit and have a beer with him. Would we agree on everything? No. But yeah. That's my look on him.
I was laughing at Majin's comment.
Well, am I going to see it?
Oh, sorry. I clicked the wrong one. I had my eyes closed laughing. He said Trish Stratus. He said Pam Anderson got one. Why not another blonde with big fake tits?
Pamela Anderson could take a bump like Trish, though.
That's very true. That's very true. So, all right, let's get into some AEW. Let's tackle a serious topic around AEW first before we get into talking about Dynamite. There was an issue that happened, I guess technically ROH. During an ROH taping, an individual was saying some very vulgar things towards Sky Blue, and that led to security, Aubrey Edwards, and telling security to get this guy out of the building. Security did so. The guy supposedly put up a fight. But I guess my main message I want to say, and Pluggo and I talked about this when I filled in for JPJ the other night on their Between Two Beards show, and I helped him co-host the show. Mainly, it comes down to, guys, we got to be better. We got to be better overall as men, especially at pro wrestling events. There's no time and place to say the types of comments this guy was saying at Sky Blue. Just over the line stuff.
Yeah, I think you said it pretty well there, but at this day and age, there's no room for that in the sport that we all love. Even if I'm sitting front row at any event, I don't care what promotion, I don't care if it's a national promotion, an indie promotion. If I'm sitting front row and there's two females or 2 males in the ring, and they're shit. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. Like they're not tearing the house down. They're the complete opposite. They're the shit. It's still not my right, even though I'm sitting front row, to give them shit back. Now, if they're the heel and we're going back and forth, it's the banter. I get it. But to actually knock on somebody because of their performance or knock on somebody because of their appearance,
yeah.
Look, bro, you're not that good. I'm a Sky Blue fan. I'm a mark. I'll tell you that right now. I think she's got, at her age, her looks, her potential in the ring, we're going to see Sky Blue for years to come. So the guy that blowing her shit, he must have a really, really small dick. That's all I can think of.
Okay? Yeah. I mean,
and I hope he got put in his place. I love that Aubrey Edwards stuck up for Sky Blue. I hope that the security took care of that dude. And I hope we don't see him at an AEW event. I hope we don't even see him at a WWE event. Hell, I'll even go even further. I hope we don't see him at an NWA event. And those guys,
they put the title on Tyrus.
And they listen to Billy Corgan. So, I'm just saying, like, there's no room for that in this.
Nope, there's not.
Look, we go to those events. We all want to have fun. Yep. We all want to enjoy it.
Yep. Don't ruin it for everybody else around you.
Don't. Yeah. I mean, these men and women go out every night. They put their body on the line. Let's be honest. They put their body on the line. One mishap and they're hurt legit. It could change your life.
Yep.
If I was sitting next to it'd have been really hard if I was sitting next to the guy that was doing this and I had a couple vodkas in me, beers, tequila,
what,
whiskey,
what.
Yeah. I would have had a hard time, keeping my mouth shut. And I'm the most unconfrontational guy in the world.
Well, it sounded like a lot of people were being vocal and told him to shut up, and the more they did that, the louder he got.
Yeah, well,
it was what I was reading online. So he's just a piece of crap.
That's one of the what's the big dude that the security guard that's around ringside?
Sam
need to come just fucking body to body that.
Sam did slam a guy last night. You see that?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Fan got in the ring and he tackled him like a linebacker.
Well, hey, the old official that gave me the little cameo, what's his name?
Bryce Remsburg.
Bryce was right there with him.
Yeah. That what an idiot! How drunk do you got to be to jump the guardrail and try to get in the ring?
You got to drink more than Shep, that's for sure.
And I'm pretty sure the guy was pretty drunk with how he slid in the ring. It wasn't very smooth.
I'm a big dude, but I think I could slide in there real quicker than that. But
Stephanie says somebody needed to rock his block.
Yeah. No spot for this in our sport, and I say our sport because obviously we cover it, and I enjoy 99.9% of this shit. So.
Yeah. Yep, and like Steven said, I read too. His son, or maybe it wasn't his son, but a kid was with him too. When this was
that makes it even worse, man.
Makes it even worse.
Like, you're a big piece of shit if you're doing that in front of a young child. Like, let those young child go there and enjoy the show. That's what they're there for. And maybe I'm a little more sensitive because I have young kids. But if I go to a sporting event, let's throw professional wrestling out. If I go to a MLB, NBA, or NFL event and I'm sitting there with young kids and I got a belligerent fan, whether he's drunk or not, I'm going to be upset about it.
Yep.
So, now that you just told me that he had a young child with him, then he is a complete fuck stain. So there you go. You can give me the explicit whatever.
I'll just do this.
Fuck stain.
He is 100%.
That's a new word.
100%. And imagine, I'm glad you brought this up because this is another thing Pluggo and I were talking about. We couldn't believe there was people defending this guy on social media the other day. There's no room to defend this guy. I mean, he was harassing a female to the point that you made her visibly upset going backstage. It's lucky
Well,
Kyle Fletcher didn't come in and kick his face off.
oh, I wish he would have,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, yeah.
But if you can get the talent upset and then you can have the official upset, which Aubrey's a damn good official.
Oh, very good.
She's better than cargo pants. Or
Knox,
whatever. Knox.
Rick Knox.
Yeah, not cargo pants. He just wears
Just needs some pants that fit him.
Fit him. Yeah. But if you can upset her, like, come on, dude, you were out of line, completely out of line. Let's move on. Actually, we should quit talking about the dipshit.
No, I agree, and I agree with Majin. Props to Soraya for outing the two on live TV. Yeah, because she was calling them.
She did. Yeah, she did. So,
yep. So,
Soraya, you should have slapped the shit out of him.
Yep.
I know you don't. I know you don't listen to us, but you should.
You should.
Yeah, you should, Soraya.
Yep.
Tag her in, this son of a bitch.
Yep. Yep. So, we're done giving that guy any more publicity. But I just want to say that because that was a negative day to be on part of the IWC the other day. Seeing how many people were defending that guy, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
No, no room to defend that.
Nope. So,
tell that fat slob to get in the ring and perform.
Yeah, I would love to. Would love to see that. Yeah. So, like Steffi said, zero room for that. Yep, zero room for that. Dynamite was fun this week. It was in Edmonton, which pretty good crowd. They were nervous with the Oilers game going on around the same time that they might not have a good crowd, but the crowd was pretty good, pretty vocal crowd. Let's just kick it off by talking about the biggest takeaway from the show. That was the show's ending. We had the Elite in the ring, and we knew they were gonna. From earlier in the night, we saw Kenny Omega in the hospital, and he said it's gonna be Anarchy in the arena. The Elite against FTR, who he called the best tag team in the world. I know that popped Shep, and he said the two other stars would be revealed later in the night. And dumbass me thought, oh, that means Motor City Machine Guns. But then I got to thinking, that wouldn't make a lot of sense for them to come right in the company and be on Team AEW right away, even though they probably would with a nice check that Tony Khan's going to hand them.
Oh, they'll do anything. Yeah, money talks, but it didn't make sense for the storyline. I get it.
So waiting there, and I'm going over all the guys in my head. I'm like, man, I don't know. Maybe this is the time Hangman comes back and he's gonna switch to face and go against the Elite. And I'm thinking of all these guys. Well, first guy's music to hit, Eddie Kingston. I'm like, okay, I like that. He's been in an Anarchy match before. He's got beef with the Bucks. He's got beef with Okada. Not so much Jack Perry, but Jack Perry gets on all the faces' nerves. So, and then I'm like, all right, who's gonna be the last guy? Then Bryan Danielson's music hit.
That one shocked me a little bit.
Yep. But another guy that has experience in Anarchy in the arena.
And with Okada.
So, and it's interesting, Danielson and Kingston teaming together for Team AEW.
But it makes sense. Let's talk a little long story timeline here. After their match, there was a backstage vignette posted between the two of them. They were all taped up in ice and whatnot, and they thanked each other and said they respect each other.
Yep, true.
Now we watched that after their match when Kingston beat Danielson. Right, we watched the match. It was a great match. We were on cloud nine, and then the next morning, AEW posts this vignette. And this is what, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, probably 2 months ago.
Yeah,
probably 2
months Revolution, ago. I think.
Yeah, so they post this vignette, and we're like, damn, that's real. Like I remember sending it to you and Paul, like, damn, this is real. This is real. I'm telling you right now, boys, that's some long-term storytelling.
Yeah, they're starting to tell.
They had stories. This shit planned out, and we, 6, 8, 9 months ago, we used to bitch about we don't have a lot of storytelling in AEW. We don't stretch it out. and we were in the midst of this Cody bloodline shit that was just, trumping AEW. But old Tony Khan sitting in the weeds, just methodically doing this stuff. And I'm telling you right now, it's coming together. Like, I remember as soon as Wilson comes out with Kingston, I'm like, holy shit, really? Oh wait, they did that vignette together. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Yep. So got some comments here. Majin, I have a feeling the Guns, Motor City Machine Guns, that is, will be TK's chosen team to go against the Bucks when TK comes back. Stephen Chambers, bold prediction: Hangman helps the Elite beat FTR, Kingston, and Danielson. And he also mentions how the Elite attacked Kingston last night in New Japan. Yes. The Young Bucks returned to New Japan for the first time since 2019. Them and Jack Perry attacked Eddie Kingston after his match against Gabe Kidd, which he lost his title against Gabe Kidd last night.
Did you see the suplex he took through the table over the guardrail?
My God.
And I mean, I'm one of the biggest Eddie Kingston fans. He's made me a believer over the last year and a half. But the next guy that's making me a believer, this is Gabe Kidd. The stuff he has done with his promos and got on the mic and done stuff, I really like this kid.
Yep, Bullet Club with another title.
No pun intended, calling him Gabe Kidd, but yeah, I really like this guy.
But I'm excited for Anarchy in the arena match. I like these. This is annual tradition, Double or Nothing. Of course, 2020, the pandemic pay-per-view, it was Stadium Stampede between the Inner Circle and the Elite plus Matt Hardy, since Matt Hardy replaced Cody in that match, pretty much. Or actually replaced Nick Jackson, but Cody was supposed to be in the original one. I digress. In 2001, we got the Inner Circle against the Pinnacle. 2002, we got the Jericho Appreciation Society against Blackpool Combat Club. 2003, we got last year Blackpool Combat Club against the Elite. So a lot of these guys have experience in that match, and it's going to get crazy. And I got to think that's going to be the main event.
It's got to be. Yeah, it got to be.
I mean, I'm an old school when it comes to the world title match main eventing, but I think this will trump Swerve versus Christian in the main event slot.
Yeah, because I thought a lot of people were happy that Christian took that spot, but I mean, I feel it's a filler. We know that
it is. He's got to fill with some heels until he gets.
And there's some past history there.
Yeah, they told it. Yep, with the Nick Wayne stuff.
With the Nick Wayne stuff. So, but Anarchy in the arena, this is in Vegas, right?
Yep, and they moved it back to the MGM, which it hasn't been there in a couple of years. They've been doing the T-Mobile arena.
So do they have Anarchy Arena start in Allegiant Stadium?
I'm not familiar with the locations in Vegas, how close everything is to each other.
Well, I mean, it's within 20 minutes.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, do they do that? I mean, with the connections of TK in the NFL, do you start it in the Allegiant Stadium? Do you go to T-Mobile and then move it to MGM? Like there's many stadiums around there, so you don't start it in the stadium. I mean, if you remember that last time that Eddie came out drenched in blood and gasoline, and he looked like a zombie. I mean, they started at some other point, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's it does suck for the live attendance though when they do that kind of thing. But
there's big ass screens. Come on.
Yeah, I know they've done it every year. So.
Yeah, you're drinking $14 beers and watching big ass LED screens. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Stephen Chambers, who's getting run over by the golf cart?
Hopefully, one of the EVPs.
Jack Perry.
I'm going with Matt.
Matthew.
No, I said Matt.
Hey, I respect the EVP, so I'll say Matthew.
Hey, just like what Christopher Daniels said, Matt.
Yeah. CD getting himself back on TV, and Matt Seidel, he's got to bring Matt with him.
Why? Of all people,
I was hoping it was gonna be Scorpio Sky.
Okay,
a little SCU reunion.
Yeah,
but no,
one time,
but no. Yeah. Majin says pay the fine. That's towards you, Shep,
Which fine?
for not respecting the EVPs. Got to pay the
Oh,
fine.
yeah. Checks in the mail, bitch.
Some other notes from Dynamite. Of course, the show started with the battle of the former best friends, Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. Fine match. Orange got the win, which kind of made me mad. I wanted Trent to pick up the win there, but I don't think this rivalry's done by any means. And I
No.
know Steven had a comment up here. I gotta find it. Yes, this was my beef with the match too. He said my beef, Orange and Trent didn't sell at all. Trent did a pile driver on the steel steps to Orange, and immediately he gets up carrying a steel chair after the match. Yeah, he did a couple moves to Orange, and Orange got back up pretty quickly. Yeah, there was no selling in this match whatsoever.
Which, I mean, there's been a lot of matches. Orange doesn't sell a lot of stuff. That's, I mean, a lot of the old school guys like shit on Orange because of it. And if you remember back in the day, I used to shit on Pockets, right?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
But he kind of sold me. So
I mean, I like the rivalry. I like the story, but yeah, he took a power driver in the steps and he got up like it's no big deal. And he ends up walking away with Callus at the end, which that's still something. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
that's weird. Orange can. I don't think Orange could be a heel, can he?
No, I don't think so. Not this stage in his career.
He doesn't talk. That's why.
Yeah.
So if you don't talk, how can you say some heelish shit, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see where that goes, but Callus is a great heel. Everybody hates him. Everybody boos him for a reason. And then we saw Statlander, of course, talk Trent down because Trent had a toolbox. He was going to try to finish off Orange Cassidy, Seth Rollins Fiend style, from arguably the worst match ever, Hell in a Cell. But we will see. Steven Chambers, Orange versus Trent, Double or Nothing. Trent joining with Callus. See, I could get on board with that. Trent's a heel. He's a good heel. They need to change his damn music. I don't like how he still comes out with the best friend's music. But yeah. Yep, I think Statlander's turning heel as well. Majin, I think it's gonna be more so with Willow and Mercedes than it is in this story, but it is kind of weird how she is intertwined in both stories. I definitely think she's going the heel route, and she did walk up the ramp with Trent too. Yes. Steffi's comment: super crazy Tajiri and FBI. Yes, that is the three-way match happened behind me at ECW's One Night Stand, the original one. Yeah, Shep went to the Shadow Realm. I don't know where he went. I can still hear his audio, but there's no camera. So I guess it's just me talking right now. So, other things on Dynamite. Shivani welcomes Serena Deeb to the arena, and then she cut a promo pretty much explaining that losing at Double or Nothing is not an option. She came back from the hardest 15 months of her life after suffering multiple seizures. She said the experience was scary and mystifying. She said she dreams of being AEW Women's World Champion. That kept her motivated as she dealt with the issues. Then Toni Storm comes out. She calls it her charity case, which made Deeb mad. Deeb says she will fight for her life to be champion. Toni Storm says she doesn't care about Deeb's issues. Deeb gets in her face. Deeb blocks a sneak attack and lays Toni Storm out with a solid right hand. She was talking about how Serena Deeb laid out Toni Storm with a solid right hand on the ramp.
Loved it, actually. I really like Serena Deeb. I know we had a little run with her, and then she went away and came back.
But she went away because she had multiple seizures. She was out 15 months.
Yeah. But I definitely think that her and Toni could be a really, really good match. It'll be a good match.
Yeah. Stephen Chambers, Canadian fans have not been kind to Deeb. Majin backed that up, saying she's talking about her personal shit, her life, not only this is to the crowd. Not only are you not reacting, some of you are booing her and chanting "Go Oilers, go!" I'm sorry, but screw you. Yeah, I thought that was pretty low. She was talking about personal life, going through seizures, and yeah, they were booing her. Yeah, that was off the mark. Off the mark. Winnipeg was kind to her, Majin said, which Majin was there live, so he would know.
Yeah.
And Steffi calling Edmonton classless.
I
They
mean,
were in that spot for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
We saw Mariah May get a win over Harley Cameron. Another week, another match for Mariah May. Like I said last week, she gets more TV time than any female on the roster.
They are really, really pushing her. So, I mean,
well, and then we saw after Cameron and Shreya attacking Mariah May, and then Mina Shirakawa, I believe is how you pronounce her last name, from Stardom. Stop it.
Sorry.
She ran out to make the save with Maria May, and they toast with champagne. So
champagne. Yeah. That's all I said. I said champagne. Come on.
God. Yeah, and let's see here, Majin, and I had to be brought back to life with the paddles from that match. Oh, that's pretty good. We saw the Bastard Pack. Said he was getting interviewed, not concerned with the future Death Triangle, but is interrupted by Switchblade, Jay White. Jay says the Death Triangle is dead. Pack needs to be concerned with himself.
How does his ears get bigger?
And Shep froze. On me. So that would be a good screenshot. I could take advantage of that, but I won't. While we're waiting for Shep to get back and keep talking about Jay White and Pac, I'll move on to talk about Swerve and Christian. Swerve entered with the title No Nana, so no dance this week for Swerve, but Swerve looked like he meant business, coming down the ramp, coming to the ring. Said he's mad at Christian for stealing the lock of his hair and demands Christian bring the rest of the Addams family to the ring. Christian enters. Christian says there won't be any championship this year as the Montreal Canadiens are about to beat the Edmonton Oilers in hockey. Of course, that gets a nice little reaction from the crowd. Christian says that Swerve has ridden a wave of support that will crash on the shore soon, as Christian feels he deserves to be world champion now. Christian says he will foreclose on Swerve's house. Pretty good line there. Take the title and his teeth. Swerve gets back up. Let's see. It says Swerve gets back up. The gates of Agony are behind him and Brian Cage. Swerve says he will beat Christian's ass like Kendrick beat Drake, and that it won't be the first time someone from the West Coast beat a fake father from Canada. He promises to make Christian say, "I quit." Christian's speechless, but right when he doesn't have anything to say, and I thought Brian Cage kind of gave this away by how he positioned himself behind Christian. Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony attack Swerve. The trio hit him with a powerbomb and leave him laying. The Gates of Agony and Christian fight off the referees and Security, delivering the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage, too many cages here, fight off the referees and Security, delivering a vicious double team maneuver through the announce table, much to the patriarchy's glee. Backstage, the Young Bucks shake Christian's hand and thank him for putting on a great show. So not only does Swerve left by himself because his stablemates turned on him, it looks like the EVPs have struck a deal with Christian and the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage. So a little interesting stuff going on there. Yes, Rey Mysterio on behind me against Psychosis, Unmasked Psychosis there for ECW One Night Stand. Hopefully Shep gets his internet going here soon. Said his internet dropped. It's not good. Asked him if he needs me to send him the link again. But while we're waiting, we'll keep going down the list here. Backstage, we saw Willow Nightingale. She runs down a recent resume and accomplishments and promises to defeat Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing. So we got backstage promos from both of these ladies, hyping up their TBS match. And Shep is back. He's back. That dang internet.
Internet fun.
Basically, while you're gone, I went down the card and we were talking about the whole Swerve and Christian angle with Brian Cage, your boy, and the Gates of Agony turning on Swerve, swerving on Swerve, and joining. It looks like Christian's family there, and then we saw the Bucks pretty much thank Christian backstage. Says pleasure doing business with you.
I love that they're going to get Swerve away from that dipshit Brian Cage. I love that he did the stairs version of Concerto, right?
Mm-hmm.
On one of the Gates
The
of
big
Agony.
guys from Gates of Agony. Yeah,
that's fine. Swerve is your AEW champion. He does not need those guys behind him. This was the perfect way to get him away from them. So I thought this was $1 million segment. Even though dipshit Brian Cage was involved, I thought it was $1 million segment.
So Swerve's kind of all by himself, right? It doesn't look like he's got a lot of friends. He's done a lot of people wrong in AEW in his past, and he's mentioned that. And I was listening to Justin LeBar and Jonathan Hood of Sunday's version of Busted Open, the podcast today when I was mowing.
That was shit, by the way. those dudes are shit, by the way.
I know you love to rip on them. I think they do an all right job.
Actually, you know what? I have a feeling if I had beers with them, we'd get along just fine. But
I think you would too.
They're not Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca and Mark Henry and Thunder Rosa and Nick Nemeth and Tommy Dreamer on a weekday. So I gotta give them guys shit because I listen to them on Saturday mornings. I'm like, hey, you fuck stains. It's okay. Much respect.
So where I'm going is I can't take all the credit for this idea that Justin threw out there. But he said, what if AEW does an ultimate Swerve with Swerve? And, his back's up against the wall against all these guys. What if Hangman comes back and instead of feuding with Swerve again, steps right to Swerve's side and helps Swerve?
Help Swerve against the Elite, right?
No, I guess, down the road.
Yeah.
Not against these guys, but down the road helps save AEW because it looks like Swerve's going to get involved with this storyline eventually somewhere.
I would love it if Hangman came back and said, you know what? Fuck you, Elite. I'm going to go with this guy right here because you guys, how many times have the Elite turned their shit on Hangman?
A lot.
It's been more than once.
Yep. And heck, Hangman drank Swerve's blood. These guys are bonded for life.
So what's the old famous saying? It's better to do business with the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess he knows. I guess that doesn't make sense. Damn it, he knows them both. Anyways, I just feel like, it would be a bigger pop if he came back with Swerve and took his back.
Yeah. About Brian Cage, Modern said, "Man, he can't cut a promo." Steffi said he sucks.
Thank you. I'm not the only one. I feel like you and Paul give me a little bit of a complex because I harp on that dipshit.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one.
I'm guessing Mazden's talking about Hangman here. This guy's pushed me more than you ever have. I might hate him, but damn, do I respect him. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good. And they already, they've already thrown Hangman under the bus. They've kind of kicked him out of the Elite while he's been gone, and they're already calling this new stable with the new Elite with Okada and Jack Perry the best version of the Elite ever. So, yeah. Oh, we saw Jay White make pretty quick work out of Rocky Romero. The Guns then attacked Romero, but Pac's music hit and the Bullet Club Gold retreat. So, got to think we're getting a trios title match with Penta, Phoenix, and Pac versus the Bang Bang Gang at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, and Pac can fly down with his ears.
Up next, the moment we've all been waiting for, Big Bill in the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, went against some local jobbers, and they squashed him. Jericho then said he's happy to be in Calgary. Immediately had to correct himself to Edmonton. Jericho apologized and said he deserves the uh, the "you effed up" chance. Jericho says he learns from mistakes. Jericho thanks Big Bill for all of his help and says Bill is already learning. Jericho thanks Shibata for a great match. Jericho thanks Hook. Tony Schiavone joins Jericho in the ring. Schiavone says Hook will return next week on Dynamite. Jericho says he looks forward to the return of Hook and says thanks, guys, to the crowd as he waves.
Are you done?
Yes. Yes. Any thoughts? Any thoughts?
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Next segment.
See, you just fooled everybody. Everybody thought you went back to the Shadow Realm yet again.
No, I didn't want to talk about that shit.
I just feel bad that Hook's still intertwined in the Jericho vortex here.
I mean, was it 3 weeks ago they came out and said Hook's contract's up in 2 months
Later this year.
He's interested in shopping it, which shocked me really because obviously he's dead. But after watching this shit, yeah, you know what? Hook, shop that shit.
Yep.
So,
yep.
I mean, he'll go to NXT and be called fucking Spear, but I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a one-syllable word that they're going to call him, but yeah, they'll call him Spear.
Martin said this Learning Tree stuff has been entertaining, at least. I can't hate it. Oh, he's leaning into it hardcore. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
He's you know what? It probably works with, I'm going to say the majority, because the majority, I feel like, thought he needed a refresh, maybe a step away from the company, but him coming in doing what he's doing pisses me off, so it works, right?
Right.
He's hooking the crowd, so.
Stephen Chambers says can't stand a Learning Tree gimmick like Jericho, but he needs time off.
See, I saw exactly my point. Exactly.
Martin said Hook will go to NXT and be called Taz Jr., dress him up in orange and black singlet like his dad.
I like Spear better.
I like Spear too. That popped me pretty good. We got our last match of the night on Dynamite. This was no DQ match for the AEW TNT Championship. Adam Copeland defending against the House of Black's Brody King. I love this match.
This pretty good match.
I thought
hard-hitting match.
Do I need to remind everybody that Adam Copeland's 50 years old?
Do you need to remind that Brody King is 310 pounds?
The way he moves, you do.
Yeah, that's
just
another reason I brought that up.
I mean, they had hard spots on the apron. We saw Brody King getting tons of color. Man, it was a fun match. I mean, at the end, we did see Copeland hit his spear for the 1, 2, 3. We all knew Copeland wasn't going to lose this match, but it was still very entertaining. Didn't make Brody look weak at all. After the match, Brody King attacked Copeland, but Kyle O'Reilly came in for the save. And then, so in return, later on, it was still during Dynamite that Kyle O'Reilly asked Copeland for a Cope Open match in his hometown of Vancouver on Saturday. Copeland says he's on. That was a really kind of corny backstage segment, I thought. It was kind of weird.
A little different.
Yeah, Majin said don't sleep on Christian Cage and don't sleep on Cope. No, they're doing some great work. I might be in the minority here, but I'm loving Adam Copeland's run in AEW. I think it's fun.
I think it's a justified run where he tried to have one in WWE and they threw him in the Judgment Day and then kicked him out. So this is very, very justified, and I love it. So
yep. And Majin said, Malachi wants to reawaken the insane Cope, the hair, pulling his hair out, eyes bugging out, insane Copeland. I'm here for it. I agree with that 100%. I think Steffi's enjoying watching the One Night Stand in the background more than the pod tonight.
Oh yeah, it's
which is
aggressive.
fine. Which is fine. Steven says rather have Osprey versus O'Reilly than Copeland versus O'Reilly, but it's a good match. Yeah, it was a good match last night on Collision. Hopefully we get Osprey versus O'Reilly down the line because that'd be a really good match. But I thought it was good last night on Collision. So that was Dynamite in a nutshell.
Good show. Good show.
Yeah, pretty solid show. I thought it was a little better than last week. So, in my opinion. And I think I rated last week at 7.7. So I'll have to keep that in mind for later on.
Yeah. Talking about Collision, we got Osprey, but I was not a fan of his opponent.
Lee Moriarty?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not a.
You're not
I'm
a Moriarty
fan of
guy?
that. No, like and the reason to put those two guys together. Yeah.
But are you
Did
pumped
you, hey,
for?
wait! Did you just post that comment?
Yeah, Majin says Steffi loves her extremely crappy wrestling. So that's what he calls ECW.
Yeah, how them Winnipeg Jets doing, you jackalope? How could you call, like, over the years, how could you say ECW was not revolutionary, right? I don't. What is back? What does that mean?
I just laughed.
Okay.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler did say that back in the 90s.
He got paid a lot of money to do it, and he was looking for puppies.
Yeah, speaking of Lawler, he is, for the first time since 1992, not under WWE contract.
He gone.
Yep.
He gone.
Yep.
Hit the mic. He gone.
It means fool in Japanese. There we go.
Oh, Japanese. Hot. Oh, you can't do that. Sorry, Tanner don't want to do that. Never mind.
Steven Chambers going old school WCW rap is crap. Oh, Kurt Hennig. What a guy. What a guy.
Mr. Perfect, man.
Yep. What a guy.
What a guy.
Yeah, Collision last night. Fine show. We saw it open with Blackpool Combat Club versus Top Flight. Typical Top Flight match. Entertaining, but you know they're not going to get the win. Unless it's on Rampage. And Danielson and Claudio went over. But after the match, Danielson got on the mic, cut a promo about Anarchy in the arena, and halfway through the promo, Claudio goes backstage. And later on in the night, they catch up with Claudio. He said, Danielson wants to be on Team AEW. He's fuck good with it, whatever, but he still can't get behind the idea of Danielson and Eddie Kingston teaming up. So Claudio and Eddie can just, no matter what, if the rivalry is over for a year, it's never really over.
I can appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So Lee Moriarty and Will Ospreay. We saw Ospreay get the win. Ospreay's incredible, like always. Workhorse of a wrestler. And I say that again because he's going to be on Collision again next week against Shane Taylor after Shane Taylor got involved in this match. What do you think of that matchup? I know you're not for a small guy versus a big guy.
Shane Taylor can really, really move for a big guy.
He can.
I'm okay with it. We'll see how it turns out for sure. We'll talk about it next Sunday, obviously. I'm not sold on Shane Taylor, but yet I'm not ready to bust his balls. So
yeah,
I'm kind of split down the middle. So I think Ospreay will run this match, elevate this match, and make Shane look like $1 million is what I can predict. So
Kurt Angle and JBL are getting roasted behind me.
I remember that. Yeah. JBL, that fucking stupid hat.
Yep, he was the ultimate heel. The
funny part was before he was the cowboy wearing, investing, making $1 million money guy. He literally sat backstage, played poker, drank beer, and said, damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was, him and
Well,
Ron Simmons.
Him and Ron Simmons.
Yeah, Ron Simmons said damn, but yes, you're right.
One of the original African American heavyweight champions
First one in WCW history.
Yeah, that they recognize.
Mhm.
They don't recognize like is it Bobo Brazil in NWA, right?
Sounds right.
Yeah, but
Yep.
they recognize Ron. But good for Ron.
Yep.
AOP was it AOP, right? Yeah. APA. Those guys were fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were. And even when they're heels as part of the Ministry of Darkness and the corporate ministry as the Acolytes, pretty hard hitting team then too.
Yeah.
So saved both guys' careers because both guys were kind of aspiring before they paired them with each other. So we saw Brian Cage and the Mogul Embassy squash some guys. But Swerve came out and beat the crap out of all of them. And like you said, did a concerto on the steel steps.
Mm-hmm.
He challenged Brian Cage on Dynamite next week in his home state of Washington. So you got to watch Brian Cage again next week.
Yay.
Sorry about you. We saw Daniel Garcia get over in a squash match against KM. Daddy Magic was on commentary. I don't really have anything else to say about that.
The fan ran in the ring.
Yeah, the fan did run in the ring, got speared by security guard Sam. That's right.
I felt like that was a highlight of the match.
Here was a fun match, though. Your boy, Dax the Axe Harwood.
Oh, yeah.
Versus Tommy Billington making his AEW debut. He is the nephew of Dynamite Kid.
And he went by the Dynamite Kid.
Yeah, I was impressed with this guy. In a losing effort to Dax, I was impressed by him.
I thought it was pretty stiff.
That's how Dax likes it.
I think that's how both of them like it, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously I'm rooting for Dax going into this match. And then once I saw this kid start to work, I'm like, oh man, I like them both. So this kid made me a believer, and I hope we see more of him going down the road.
Yeah, me too. After the match, Dax shook his hand, raised his arm, did all that stuff. So, Majin brings up a good point. Tony Storm versus Harley Cameron next week makes up for having to see Brian Cage.
Correct.
Correct.
Brian Cage will be blacked out on my television behind my shoulder.
Fast forward button.
Yes.
Because you'll probably if you're behind, that is.
If I'm behind, if it's his main event, I'm caught up usually by then. So
yeah. Our women's match of the night was Thunder Rosa versus Robin Renegade. I got to be honest, I kind of tuned out of this match a little bit, and I enjoy Thunder Rosa's work, but
I'm kind of.
I knew she was going to win. I knew she was going to win. So
I watched the first 5-6 minutes of this match. I'm like, okay, time to fast forward. So
yeah. So
nothing against Thunder. I like Thunder, but
right.
Just new.
We did get a match announcement for Dynamite. Another one, Dax Harwood versus Okada. That's gonna be fun on Dynamite.
I got my feelings that I'm gonna hold for a week. Just like so.
So why don't we see Cash in singles action near as much as we do Dax? I mean the one thought that comes across, like, I know he's still got that whole gun situation.
Did I send you
road
that
rage situation?
Did I send you that video on Twitter about the Japanese wrestler? I'm not going to associate with New Japan. The Japanese wrestler, like when he come to, like, the guys, he's on the ropes and they attack him and he pulls literally a gun out of his.
No, you did not.
I did not send you that. Oh,
no.
God, I got to send you that shit. Anyways, it's a comedy skit in Japan wrestling. These 3 wrestlers attack this guy in the ring or in the corner. He hops up on the top of the rope and he literally pulls a gun out of his tights and he points it at these 3 wrestlers, and they all have, different reactions. And I saw it once, and then I saw it again. It was like when Cash Wheeler gets cornered, and I'm like, holy shit, that's funnier than hell.
That's good.
It's not funny. It is funny. Whatever. I don't know the situation with Cash.
Right.
I don't know the road rage situation.
Right.
We all don't know, but
right.
I'm gonna look it up. I'll send it to you guys later.
Well, I thought it might be something to do with that, but if AEW was worried about that, they wouldn't have him in the Anarchy and the Arena match. So
they wouldn't have him on television every week.
That's a good point too.
So, I'm not saying this, but maybe it's because Dax is just that much better of a wrestler.
He is better than Cash, even though I think Cash is more athletic, does the tope suicidas and stuff, and he's a heck of a talent. But yeah, I mean, besides when they went against each other, Cash and Dax last year in one of the rounds for the Owen Hart Cup, I don't recall Cash really having a singles match.
No, and maybe he didn't like it. I don't. Maybe he's not a fan of it.
Yeah, that could be.
And Dax.
Well, and Dax had to go on his own for a little while when Cash ripped his arm a couple years ago. Remember that? Got caught on the hook of the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our main event of Collision was Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Copeland for the TNT Championship. So Cope technically got the main event twice this week. That's why my lower third says Adam Copeland is a legend. Dude is a legend. A hard-fought match, back and forth, a lot of close calls for KOR in front of his hometown Vancouver crowd. But in the end, Cope hits a spear and gets the 1, 2, 3. But afterwards, they raise their arm, and he's trying to say something to KOR, and KOR is trying to get away, and Cope's grabbing harder, and then he looks at Cope weird, and Cope wipes some blood off his lip, and then the commentator's like, Adam Copeland's not himself. Well, on Rampage, we go backstage, and we see Copeland, and he's calling out Malachi, and pretty much saying Malachi wants to bring the bad side out of Copeland, and the whole time he's talking about he's behind a steel fence with some barbed wire. So I'm like, oh, I hope they're gonna do what I think they're gonna do. And they absolutely did, as Copeland challenged Malachi Black to a TNT title match at Double or Nothing in a barbed wire steel cage.
I'm in.
Yes.
I'm in so far.
Yep. Majin said that's why the rest of the week for him is Cope. Steve Chambers barbed wire steel cage match for Copeland and Black. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I've been a proponent for well over a year to get Malachi Black more singles matches. Here we go. He's got a chance to go for gold, and not only gets a legend, but in a barbed wire steel cage match, a kind of match we have not seen in AEW before, and arguably their biggest event of the year. Sign me up. Me up every day. Would you say, and I think I've asked this before on the podcast, but would you say Double or Nothing's AEW's biggest event? I mean, I know that was always argued when there was 4 pay-per-views. I know there's 8 or 9 now, but I mean, what's technically in your mind their WrestleMania, even though they don't book it like WWE does with WrestleMania, where the kind of season stops and starts around WrestleMania. But what in your opinion, what's AEW's quote unquote WrestleMania?
Man, I'd almost go Wembley now, though.
Yeah, it's their biggest. With
it's
Wembley,
their biggest.
It's only their second one. Because this will be the 6th Double or Nothing and the 5-year anniversary of AEW.
But the original Double or Nothing was only 10,000 people, right?
Well, that's what this one's got to be again, because it's in the arena again, MGM.
Right. So, I mean, that's great, and there's history behind it, but you put 80,000 people in Wembley.
Yeah, I know.
That's going to trump a lot of shit, right?
Sure. And I get with that name All In, the original All In wasn't an AEW event, but it kind of got the ball rolling in motion for what turned out to be AEW, even though Tony was already starting conversations way back before that, but it helped get the ball rolling. And I know some people think it's All Out, just because All Out was kind of the next step from All In, even though Double or Nothing was the first AEW event. I guess I will always say Double or Nothing, not always, but right now I would say Double or Nothing, but I think an argument could be made for a few different events as far as their version of WrestleMania.
I mean, when you got 80,000 people behind you, it's hard to bitch, right?
Even though Steffi loved ECW, she's not a huge barbed wire fan. It depends on the people, though. And Majin, I'm going to need Copeland to bring some of his Aries from Piercy Jackson out in this match. I have not watched that series, but I heard it was really good. And I heard he was really good in it. So I'm going to have to check that out. Rampage was after Collision. Not a ton to take away from this show. Trent Beretta beat Dalton Castle, one of Shep's boys, no pun intended, in the opening of Rampage. Deanna Peraza.
I like Dalton Castle. I know
he's got a unique gimmick, very unique gimmick. Gianna Peraza and Lady Frost got a lot of time in this one. Diana ended up getting the win, but Thunder Rosa came after her. And then Diana escaped from the crowd. I could get on board for that being a pre-show match for Double or Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Majin said Castle looked so naked without his boys. He did. He looked weird without the boys at his side because they got released by AEW last month. We saw Brian Keith go over JD Drake. Good to see Brian Keith get a win. That was a fine match. Definitely a Rampage match.
Wait. You say fine match?
It's a fine match for, Rampage. It was just, JD Drake.
Well, I used to like
it.
Yeah, I saw some highlights from this, and I'm like, man, I really like that guy. But after watching the highlights of this match, like, he was shit. He was really shit.
It was bad night for JD Drake, but maybe I was.
It was.
I guess I was talking more for Brian Keith. Steven Chambers, Larry the Cable Guy, lookalike JD Drake, get her done.
He was bad. He was bad. I'm sorry.
Our main event was Pac against Johnny TV, who is the man of a million names, and his wife, Taya Valkyrie, was there alongside him on ringside. But we all knew who was going to win this match. It was going to be Pac. And Pac ended up putting Johnny in an octopus stretch until he tapped out. So Johnny TV taps out the Pac, and that was the end of AEW content on television for the week.
It was an okay week. Okay week.
Module with comment here. Forgot to say shout out to John Silver for getting pegged last week in Winnipeg. He said he said it himself. I missed that. Must have been on being the dark order or whatever.
Sure.
I missed it. I'm guessing that's what it was on. So,
missed that one too.
Yeah. I don't tune in every week anymore to that show. Except I did see the Bucks made an appearance and made them censor out their faces. This week, since they're the EVPs. It said, you don't have our permission to show us on camera on YouTube. It was pretty good. So, and it was. Okay. That's why I did not see that. Okay. All right, Shep, what was your show of the week and what was your rating?
I'm going Dynamite, and I'm going 7-4.
7-4. I'm going Dynamite. I said this week's was better than last week's, and last week's I think I gave a 7-7. So I got to go a little higher. I'm going to go 7-9. I don't think it was quite in the 8s, but it was a good show.
I mean, you get in the 8s. That's a big deal.
Yeah. So good show. Wrestler of the week. I'll let you go first.
Man, I'm going to go in a losing effort. I'm going to go the new Dynamite Kid.
Wow, you went for Dax the Axe opponent.
As much as I love Dax, and I thought that might have been my favorite match of the week.
Yeah, it was a good one.
but I appreciate what that guy did. So um, he's my wrestler of the week.
I got to go Cope. I've taken him before, but my favorite match of the week was him and Brody King, and I thought he and Kyle O'Reilly was pretty good too. I'm real intrigued with him against Malachi at Double or Nothing and then this barbed wire steel cage match.
So what do you take with him after with O'Reilly
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden turns at the end there?
Yeah,
Like all of a sudden he has a glitch, right?
yeah. Malachi's got a little spell on him, something.
That's what you think it is?
Well, not spell. Malachi's bringing out his dark side, Cope's crazy dark side, which we know. I mean, look at his rated R superstar days in WWE. He had some crazy hardcore matches with Mick Foley at WrestleMania
Yeah.
22. I mean,
Yeah.
he can go there. So it's gonna be fun. I'm not showing my cards, quote unquote, for my prediction yet. But
Oh, easy there, cowboy.
I mean, I am the reigning, defending, undisputed KOP predictions champion since September.
One match.
It was one
One ma-
match.
one match.
It was one match.
And who was it again?
It was the For the World champion, the Learning Tree.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Oh, that's why I hate him even more. Anyways, let's keep it PG, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're way past that.
I kept it PG a couple hours ago.
Way past that. But I'm trying to think if there's any AEW news that happened this week that we need to discuss. Let's see here. I did see Sammy Guevara is not suspended anymore, but there's no creative for him right now. So
Yeah, then I saw his wife was back in the ring training.
saw that too. Also saw one of her body parts. I'm not complaining.
I mean,
Just said I saw.
I mean, she posts that shit, so
She did. Yeah, Majin, go ahead. I feel bad. I cut you off last week when you wanted to say whatever you wanted to say about Cody Rhodes. So go ahead and let us have it here in the comments because I cut you off last week. Yeah, Moxley doing a lot of stuff New Japan. I don't know if we're gonna see him on the Double or Nothing card. What else we got?
No, but what do you do with Moxley on the Forbidden Door card, being the New Japan Heavyweight Champion? How do you place him in there?
That's a great question.
Do you put him versus Swerve? Just an all-out banger.
That would be, but why not? Because when it comes to Forbidden Door, storylines don't matter.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I'm so out of tune with New Japan though anymore. Like when they make the card, I barely have heard of any of these guys because AEW steals all their good talent anymore.
It does. With this new guy, Gabe Kidd, I feel like he's taking over for a Will Ospreay. But he's definitely going to be on that card. So,
and there was a report that Forbidden Door is also going to feature CMLL and Stardom this year too, not just New Japan. So, all kinds of talent.
Perfect.
Majin here with the most trusted source, Fightful. I like that. Coming out and saying WWE had no plans for Cody Rhodes going forward. Thank you for ultimately proving Paul and my worries correct. We were worried they'd have nothing for him. And look, they don't. Also, how can you? You had a full year to plan. Yeah, my worry was how Cody would be booked as champion compared to how he was as the chaser.
Majin's a little pissed with all the capitals.
Oh, he's getting his point across.
Yes. And I'm just laughing because I see Al Snow over your shoulder and it's head.
Oh,
well,
there's a Raven.
That's Raven.
Painting, Sandman.
Yeah, before that it was Al Snow and head, by the way.
Just showing some classic ECW highlights behind me. That's what they're doing.
I agree with Majin for some of the part, like they didn't have him planned moving forward, but so far, I think they booked him really well. I love the match with him and AJ. Okay, thought it was a great match. And now we're gonna get him and Logan Paul. Look, he's gonna go over Logan Paul.
He will, but no, I hope he does. I hope it's like a screwy finish. Nobody wins because I don't want him to be a double champion. It's for the U.S. title and the Universal title.
No, I want him to be a double champion.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
And I love Cody, but no.
Why not?
It's just, I don't think they do that because SummerSlam's in Cleveland. Logan Paul's from Cleveland. They want to keep that title on him for that event.
No.
Yes.
You do. What wasn't it? Somebody said that he would be a Grand Slam champion, right? If he won the.
Yeah, he said that. That's the only title he hasn't held.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're putting him on. Yeah.
Well, it's a weird feud, but it makes sense because Logan Paul gets publicity. You like him or not on his podcast and everything. So he's going to get a lot of eyeballs on this match. So
which Cody was on his podcast.
Mm-hmm. They're friends. I mean, they're good friends, but and Logan held his own and more on the mic the other night. He kind of stole the show on the mic over Cody, I thought. So, Maj and Shep, they can barely book Cody correctly as the world champ. You want them to fuck him up as U.S. champ too? Sean saying, I think they're gonna have Cody hold this title for a while. I mean, at least till SummerSlam. Probably even way longer than that. And they got to figure out some stuff for him because before SummerSlam, you got this Saudi event, then you got Clash at the Castle, which he's probably not going to main event that. That's probably going to be McIntyre if he's back and CM Punk if he's back. That's probably how main event's that. Then you got Money in the Bank in Toronto, then SummerSlam in Cleveland. So you got, it's kind of like AEW is doing a better job with the filler feuds for Swerve already than WWE is for Cody. And I'm a big Cody guy, but I agree. I was worried how they'd handle him as champion. So far, it's cause for concern. But time will tell. So, all right. Well, I am going to, unless you got anything else, Shep, I think we're going to wrap a little earlier than normal this week.
I don't. You got a flight to catch in the morning.
I got an early flight to catch for work in the morning. So, yeah. And not looking forward to getting up early, but duty calls. You got to do what you got to do. So, but we'll be back next week. Hopefully, full crew, myself, Shep, and Paul. It hasn't been a 3-man. I mean, I know it was a 3-man band, no pun intended, last week, but it hasn't been besides last week for a while. So, hopefully, we'll be back next week. One more comment, Majin. I hate that I'm agreeing with Bully Ray here, but part of the problem with Cody's not having anything is you can have a guy as champion or the guy as champion. Cody's a champ, but he ain't the guy. Yeah, he sells more merch than anybody in the company, but they could book him right now a little better. I agree with that. And I think I lost Shep again. So, this would be a good time to wrap it up, I suppose. I'm Tanner Lee. You can follow me at Tanner Lee 92 on all social media platforms. You can follow Shep at the Shep27. And you can follow Paul at Paul Zartman 921. You can follow Kicking Out Podcast on all the socials at Kicking Out Pod. And if you're listening to this on your favorite audio podcast platform, please give us that 5-star rating and review. And go buy some merch at kickingoutshop.com. With that said, we'll be back next week, same time, to kick out yet another podcast. Have a great week, everybody.